Alright, so for today's video, I had this thought in mind. I've been thinking about it a lot about, less is more. That's kind of the theme of today's video. Less is more, or less can be more. And the reason why I got inspired for that is for those of you guys that have watched some of my other videos, especially my lives where I'm actually working out. You guys know that I do a lot of nonsense. I call it nonsense because it is nonsense in between my sets, or I have been, right? Every day I was doing 200 jump rope, or 200 rep jump ropes with my 5-pound jump rope, 200 push-ups, 30 pull-ups, and then I was also doing 100 squats, and then I'll start off with that first. It started off with the jump ropes. This was probably since 2021 when I first got my 5-pound jump rope, and I started challenging myself with it, and then I started doing 50 a day, and then just randomly sometime a couple months ago I just started doing 200. And for me, when I create a challenge for myself to do something, I'm very hard on myself to continue to do it no matter what, under any circumstance. I gotta do it, right? And then if I don't do it, I beat myself up for it. And then I saw little by little, I started adding challenges to myself, like, oh, let's see if I could do 200 push-ups a day. Oh, let's see if I could do 100 squats a day. And so next thing you know, I have all these things I'm doing, and I'm not having enough time, right? Another thing though is that, especially if you watch the lives, doing the pull-ups and push-ups and jump ropes in between my sets, in between my strength training sets, was fatiguing me. And I didn't realize, I knew it was fatiguing me, but I also knew it was making my workouts last a lot longer. And so I'm like, okay, I don't have enough time to be, doing all this stuff. So I was getting stressed out more about the time than about the fatigue, but a little bit of both, because I'm exhausted, and then I'm also trying to do all this other stuff. I was thinking something has got to go, something's got to give. And so I was doing the 200 jump ropes or whatever, talked to my best friend about it, I hate it, it's a lot. And then he's like, well, how about you just do 100 and replace them with something else? So I was like, okay. Then I replaced them with 100 weighted reverse crunches. But still, it's still a lot of things to be doing, either during my workout. So then I was like, okay, let me try to do all that stuff before my workout as a warm up, and then do my workout. But then still, sometimes, especially because you guys know my schedule is not consistent, when I'm training in between clients, sometimes I have 2 hours, sometimes less than an hour. I'm wasting 30 minutes or 15 minutes trying to do all that stuff before I do my actual workout, and then I'm exhausted for my actual workout. And so there was one day, I think it was 2 weeks ago, where I didn't do any of that stuff before my workout. I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna do it at the end. Funny thing was, for the first time ever, a weight that I'm able to barely do 6 to 8 reps with, I was able to do 10 and 12 reps. And I was like, wait a minute, how is it that by just not doing push-ups and pull-ups in my jump rope, I got that significantly stronger? And I guess, talking to my cousin, my best friend about it, I didn't realize how much fatigue I was putting my body through between reps to be able to do that stuff before I would actually do my actual strength training. And so now what I'm doing is I'm doing all that stuff after my workout, but also I'm doing less of it. So instead of doing 200 jump ropes, I'm only doing 100. Instead of doing 200 push-ups, I'm only doing 100. Instead of doing 30 pull-ups, I'm only doing 20. Instead of doing, I think I was doing 200, I'm still doing 100 reverse crunches, and I'm still doing 100 squats, but I do the 100 squats at the end of the night, kind of before I go to bed, sort of thing. So it doesn't really affect my workout in any type of way, unless it's right before leg day. But either way, long story short, with all that backstory, pretty much I realized doing less is more. And what happened was, I forgot why I was doing these things in the first place. For each one of these things I was doing, whether it's the jump ropes, push-ups, or pull-ups, I had a specific reason why I was doing them. I had a specific goal, a specific purpose. And I forgot, because of my heart, my stubbornness, and yes, I could be stubborn sometimes, is that because of my stubbornness to stop doing some of these things or to lessen it, I forgot why I was doing them in the first place. And I actually it started becoming more of a burden than a benefit for my life. And so I was thinking that can come with a lot of things, not just with fitness stuff, but sometimes less is more. So sometimes we kind of create these goals for ourselves, and we kind of do too much, and then not realizing sometimes doing too much is to our detriment and not to our benefit. And so sometimes it's okay to lighten our load or to do a little bit less, and then we'll actually reap more benefits from doing less than doing more. And I've realized that when it comes to fitness, that sometimes doing less is actually better than doing more. And even in my personal or daily life, business life, whatever, sometimes doing less is actually better than doing more. And I've learned that so many different ways, and sometimes I forget that, and then I'll go back in that same circle of trying to do extra stuff, and then the extra stuff is bogging me down with the regular stuff. Even talking to one of my clients, same thing he was telling me with his own business, right? Sometimes, you know, you do better with your business when you're doing less work. You know, you do so much work, you're working like 12, 13, 14 hours a day, you're hardly sleeping or doing anything, and it's actually making your business worse. So a lot of times less is more. So if you're like me and you're stubborn and you try to do too much, don't beat yourself up on it. Sometimes it's a lot better to do less, and then you'll actually see the benefits are a lot better with that. So hopefully that made sense. I just want to share that with you guys because, like I said, it's something that I struggle with, still working on, and hopefully you guys are better at than I am. So anyways, with that being said, once again, thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.